episode 10 of my Sorare journey. If you don't know, it's not actually an every week series, it's just when I find something noticeable, but recently there's a lot been happening for my club, so let's see if I got any rewards this week. 364 prizes went up to 328, so I got close, but I didn't think I deserved one. I thought my scores were terrible this week. You can see them here. The only thing that did annoy me is that I checked Sorare data and it said I was the last one, the last prize, and no other games were scheduled to be played. So I thought I was getting one, but like I said, these scores are pretty rubbish. I mean, 26, 42. The only thing I did do well was finally I picked the right captain. Big Dave, guaranteed to play. Got his clean sheet, 68. Happy with that. Anyway, we'll claim that ETH and it will add to the balance. If you have seen or haven't seen my last video, I do recommend going and watching it. But what I've done is I picked up Jaden and Song. 2 long-term holds, the under-21s. If you just look quickly, I don't think I've got it up, but let's see. I'll just dig down deeper and say a bit more rationale behind the decision. So I believe in the last 40 played average, and you'll see Song, he's right up there with the rest of the forwards. He's one of the best in his position. He's got 2 years, the only one with 2 years left to play. And then look at the prices, everyone above him. They're 5 times somewhere. Mbappe is included, obviously. But yeah, like I'm saying, he's a really good scorer and undervalued at that price, even if he is at the Olympics. Jaden, I just wanted to reiterate something I didn't really say. There's so much upward pressure on his price, because he won't be getting a card next season, or it's unlikely. Udinese don't want to buy him because he's only, played for them 4 times. He's good enough to go Pro League, SPL, somewhere like that where he'd absolutely tear it apart. And there's only 26, I think there's 27 now, but, let's say it goes up to 40. That's absolutely brilliant. Only 40 cards for him next season if he gets a good move. And if he doesn't, again, 18, I can hold him for the next 5 years in the under-23s league. Yeah, so either way, I'm happy with that. But on to what I wanted to show you. It's basically just my spreadsheet and how my teams are progressing. I'm going to try and zoom in here, see if that helps. So, like I said, I think it's really important to plan on Sorare. So I've got my want list here. They're not, want lists I'm particularly going after. Just when I see a name I like, I think, you do not, we'll add that down. Someone like Gravenberch, well out of my price range. But it's just interesting. So what you do want to do is have each league you're aiming for, have the players, have the subs that you can bring in if someone gets injured, and the last 40 score. I'm going to add an adjusted 40 score. That's how I think they'll score. For example, someone like Muwani had a lot of games coming off the bench last year, so I think his average will be a lot higher, and I will adjust that 52, 53, where I think he'll score. Either way, so I have my Champion Asia team set up. I've got 2 reserves who, one's at the Olympics, one's playing, but is not a guaranteed starter. But either way, I'm really happy with that team. If there was anyone I'd get rid of, I'd probably downgrade Stanislav just because he's a bit too expensive for Champion Asia League. I'm not really focusing on it. It's just kind of, an extra to have. Under 23s league, this is where I'm really focusing on. I spoke about the goalkeeper. Because you spend so much money on one, I want to absolutely guarantee that he's going to start, so I'll probably buy next season's cards. So I'm going to have, I'd say, 7 game weeks probably where I haven't got a goalkeeper, so I'll be playing with 4. Doesn't bother me. Song's got a good average, as I said before. Ikone I'm actually looking to get rid of. I got offered 0.14 for him yesterday. I just thought it's not really enough with him linked with Liverpool, Dortmund, some really big clubs out. You want him. He's so talented when I've watched him. He just doesn't score amazing from what I've seen. But also at the end of his season, he was, 15 minutes every game. So again, that's a lot lower than it should be. Muwani spoke about Love. Hugo, he scores all right. He let me down for my first ever reward when I actually deserved it with a 93rd minute red card and penalty given away. So I kind of want to ship him just for that, but whatever. Got some subs in here. Spoke about a few of them. This is an interesting one. I had one DJ for ages, and someone offered me a straight swap for this Russian league player who's I think this 1 year younger. Doesn't really play that much, but did have a big injury last season, so I don't know that much about him, but I just thought, 1DJ is doing nothing for me, so straight swap for a player of equal value that, was injured last year, a bit of potential. Yeah, go on. If I was really on it, I might have demanded a bit more ETH from him, but, sometimes you don't need to be, a hard ass with all these things. You just let them go and hope for the best. There's always going to be a winner and a loser out of all these trades anyway. So here we have kind of the global all-stars, and that's just, ETH thresholds every week, really. So a lot of these players I'm just holding for until the European seasons come back. Someone like Raul, I was looking to get rid of him before. I'm thinking of holding on to him now. He's worth about 0.26 in my eyes. So he has a great average, but the problem is that, again, he's just too much money for, a threshold team, basically. I'd rather put that back into the under 23s, maybe, pick up a bargain. But overall, I think the next stage for me is just improving players like Hugo. You can get a 60 average. Someone I did look at picking up. He's not even in the list, actually. Let me get him up here. So Jules is a good one, probably a bit out of my range. Igor Diev, yeah, so he's got a 55 average for not that much over Hugo. So yeah, another one I'm considering entering. Overall, I always like to drill back or come back to a point that, people can learn from. And mine is just get your players down, whether it's on paper, whether it's on a spreadsheet, I don't care. Get the costs down, get their scores down, and just see if you can improve your team or if there's anyone you like. Rather than being, all over the place and just buying players for the sake of it, realising you like them but they don't fit your plan. Anyway, hope you liked this episode. If you do want to subscribe, please do. If you want to follow my account on Sorare, again, please do. I love seeing the numbers go up, really. And yeah, thanks for listening. Drop a comment.